Great. Hello, everybody. Bonjour tout le monde. What a great initiative. Isn't it fantastic? I think we should give a big round of applause to Neil and Catherine. And you know, one of the 42 satellite locations is actually the Ontario Science Centre. So hello, colleagues of the Science Centre. The Science Centre is a place where curiosity, science, and innovation are alive and well. And you know the bit about the dream jobs? So Neil said, you have to put your dream job. I said, I already have my dream job. I'm the CEO of the Ontario Science Centre. How cool is that? So it's great, been there for about 9 months, and curiosity, science, and innovation are very much at the forefront. So when I saw that this TED Talk is about curiosity, I thought we have to be there. And if I can figure out this clicker, no, that's other way. Okay, so I kind of preempted myself there, but you know, when we talk about curiosity, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Cats, right? So I think we need to start there. So did curiosity really kill the cat? This is a scientific question. You know, how many people think that the cat really had it coming? That really, right, you know, is sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, asking stupid questions. And so can I have a show of hands? How many people? Come on, it's not a quiz. Okay, yeah, well, those of you who thought that the cat had it coming actually have a lot of support from our collective mythologies. Because curiosity didn't work out so well for Adam and Eve. They were living rent-free in paradise, not a care in the world, not even what to wear every day. And the only thing they shouldn't be curious about is forbidden fruit. But you know what? Curiosity got the best of them. They ate the fruit, they were kicked out of paradise. And they had to work for a living, and that's why we have to work for a living. So there. Curiosity also didn't work so well for Pandora. According to Greek mythology, Pandora was the first woman. And when she got married, Zeus, the chief of Olympus, gave her a wedding present, a nice box. Except that the box had a little inscription, do not open. But one night, curiosity got the best of Pandora. She opened the box, and all the evils in the world went out, and we're living with the evils ever since. So I think you get the picture. Ignorance is bliss. Curiosity, not so much. And so humanity stumbled from antiquity, to the Middle Ages, with curiosity being, in the words of Thomas of Aquinas, a vice. In his Summa Theologica, he said curiosity is a vice. And pretty much that, I think we hear the remnants of that in today's, the cat had it coming. And until, about the 1600s, where Galileo Galilei, out of curiosity, took the telescope, which had been invented a year before, and training to the stars and the planets, he looked at Jupiter, and he observed that Jupiter actually had 4 planets that he could see. There are more, but he could see 4 that actually went around Jupiter. He looked at Venus and saw that Venus had phases, just like the moon. And so he figured, the Earth is not at the center of the business. Really, it's the sun, and we are going around the sun. The Earth is going around the sun, as Copernicus said. And he tried to convince the Pope. Here you see him showing his design to the Pope. And although the Pope looked through the telescope and could see the experimental evidence, this was going against everything they believed in, and also against your everyday perception that the Earth is not moving. Thanks to his curiosity, Galileo Galilei spent the last 9 years of his life in house arrest. And so things are not going so well for curiosity, but actually Galileo developed what we know today as the scientific method. And the scientific method, which is neatly summarized here, is the most powerful algorithm humanity has ever stumbled upon. This little algorithm is giving us answers to all kinds of questions. Every scientific discovery is based on this algorithm. And at the base of this algorithm is curiosity. Nothing would happen unless a question starts this process through which we interrogate nature and find out what's really going on. And it's a perfectible algorithm. We approximate to the truth, and then we get it better each day. And innovation works very much like this, a similar algorithm. So we learned this in school, but I don't think we put enough emphasis to say that curiosity is at the base, at the start of this. So in a sense, science and innovation are the children of curiosity. And indeed, through science and innovation, we've learned pretty much everything we know about nature and solved lots of problems. In 1845 in London, there was a terrible cholera epidemic. People didn't know where cholera came from, and they didn't know what to do. People dying like flies. And a physician by the name of John Snow took a map of London and put marks where all the cases of cholera were. And he realized that they were all distributed around a certain area. And what was smack in the center of the area was the water pump from where these people got their water. So he figured, could it be something in the water? So he went, that's the actual pump, and took out the handle. You see that it doesn't have the handle, so people could not take water from it anymore, and they had to get the water from somewhere else. And lo and behold, the cases of cholera started to go down. So through curiosity, saved many lives, and actually we got to an understanding that cholera is transmitted through water. In 1928, Alexander Fleming, a Scottish scientist, had taken a long weekend in September and left his experiment in the lab. His experiment, he was growing a bacteria known as Staphylococcus aureus. He came back on Monday, and the experiment was ruined. Somebody left the window open, and there was mold growing in all the Petri dishes. So, you have to throw everything and start again, except that he was curious that around the areas where the mold was growing, there was no bacteria. Somehow, this mold seemed to kill the bacteria around it. Well, this observation, this question, this curiosity led to the discovery of penicillin and saved millions of lives. And it got Alexander Fleming the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1945. In 1965, two radio astronomers at Bell Labs in New Jersey were observing the sky with a radio telescope, and this was this pesky noise that would not disappear. They looked in that direction, it was there at different times of day. They thought it was some pigeons that made the nest inside the radio telescope. They cleaned that up, still was there. What is the source of this noise? They didn't know, they asked the question. It turned out that this noise is the remnant of the Big Bang, not the Big Bang TV series, the actual Big Bang that started the universe. And this was the first actual palpable proof that the universe had gone through this very significant event 14 billion years ago, and there's still this remnant that we could observe. Again, a question, a curiosity, an understanding. So this very powerful mechanism that I told you about allows us to discover things that have made our lives better, that have made our understanding of the world better, and actually that has taken us to nearby planets, to the moon and nearby planets. So this is a rover aptly named Curiosity on the surface of Mars. And again, this is a recognition that it's curiosity that has taken us to explore all these different worlds. And in innovation, the same thing happens. I don't have enough time to go into it, but the best known example of curiosity leading to an innovation is the story of Velcro. So it's a Swiss engineer that went for a walk in the countryside, and we came back, his pants were full of those little burrs that you see there on the left. And they're really hard to take off. And instead of doing what people have been doing before, just taking them off and not giving it a second thought, he said, how come these things stick so much to fabric? So he put them under the microscope. And he observed under the microscope that the burrs had little hooks, and they were hooking to the loops in the fabric of the pants. And he decided that, oh, this would make a neat way of attaching things. And that's how Velcro was developed. So this neat algorithm that is giving us, from something to close to our jackets to an understanding of the beginning of the universe to the ability to go to nearby planets is really curiosity-based science and innovation. And I think it's particularly important that we talk about this now, because this fantastic tool that in a few hundred years has allowed us to understand the universe, to save millions of people from early death, and to have all kinds of comfort, is sadly under siege in some sectors of society. And for example, vaccination, which has saved millions of lives, is now under suspicion by some groups. Climate change, which has been pretty well demonstrated, is also a matter of controversy. And if there are groups that even say that the landing on the moon was a hoax, and not to speak about evolution. And actually, the last issue of National Geographic is called The War on Science. And the war on science is also a war on curiosity and a war on innovation. And we know what a world would look like if we go back to that kind of environment. So it's very important that we do our part to continue a culture of science and innovation and curiosity. And to do that, what we need to do is to relentlessly ask why not, what if, and we need to continuously challenge the status quo and challenge conventional wisdom. And if we do that systematically, if we do that relentlessly, we're going to be in a society, we're going to be in a culture that instead of thinking automatically when you talk about curiosity, or curiosity killed the cat, that really curiosity thrilled the cat. So that's the objective, and thank you very much. Now, you've been a great crowd, but not a very curious one, I have to say. So I walk in with this little bag, and nobody's asking me what's in the bag. Well, stay curious, my friends. Thank you.